storm, they will pay. The insurer will pay. Insurers will pay. So it's good to know that
Yeah.
it's not everything about the business, but
Storm,
be people
they will.
when the people needs it the most.
Okay, good to know. And you're saying then, Nuno, that obviously the whole insurance industry is dealing with prioritizing and dealing with the most extreme situations and a massive workload. Is there any other advice to give to people, policyholders in our community about how to progress or make claims? Any general advice on that at the moment?
Okay, so insurance policies have different coverages. Even into the same insurer, they have different coverages, different ways of handling with. But basically, first, you should, as owner, you should take all the measures that you can to avoid bigger damages or
Okay.
further damages. Okay, so this is something that is not that you can, you should take all the measures. Okay, so yes, you will pay up front. So get all the receipts, detailed receipts about the work. Also photos from before, during, and after the work done,
Mm,
and send everything to us, and we'll manage this with the insurer. Okay,
okay.
so
Okay.
no problem.
All right. So that's good advice to take to make records of the damage, if you
Yes,
possibly can, and to sort of limit any further damage as best you can, with obviously without putting yourself in any danger.
yes, yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay. I suspect we'll be coming back to you and your team, Gonzalo and Madalena here from your team this evening as well, helping behind the scenes. So if you want to direct message the Winsurance team behind the scenes, I'm sure they'll be happy to connect with you for that. We are recording now and we are streaming to YouTube. So if there's anyone we can help who's watching this on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel, do let us know. And just to say, as we stand, just after 9 o'clock on the 5th of February, 2026, we have a state of calamity in a number of districts of Portugal. And this evening, we've moved from Storm Kristen to Leonardo, which is bringing flooding with it. That's the next, whilst people are still recovering from the last storm, we're now experiencing flooding and continued rain. And the water level seems to be rising in places, in inundating towns and people's dwellings around rivers, of course, and floodplains in towns all over Portugal at the moment, and that's the scale of it. And if you watch the Portuguese news, you'll see this pictures coming in from various places where the water level is rising. That's what we're dealing with at the moment. Live as it were, as we go into the night tonight. And yes, after Leonardo comes Marta, another one that's just been named as the next storm. So we do need to stay safe, prepared, and connected. I think in this time we're in the middle of it at the moment, and really sorry to see here. This is from somebody in our community here. Now we're live on YouTube. I'm not going to necessarily give people's names out, but you say you have no house left, no roof, no windows, no possessions, but so thankful to have our lives and thankful for the support of this community. It's been a lifeline. That's amazing. To you, V, we'll name you as here or identify in that way. And if there's anything else we can do tonight, please let us know in the chat. Extraordinary situation to be in. Incredible, incredible. So yeah, I can only imagine what that must be like. And you're not that long here in Portugal, I don't think. Either are you. Amazing. So yeah, let us know if we can help as a community with that. For example, Nuno, were you going to add something there? I think you were.
Yeah, now that yes, we are still with storms, okay, but after the first hit of the Christine, we start seeing the communities around Portugal, the whole Portugal,
Yes.
getting support, doing support, sending help. Scouts are actively also helping. So we are assisting to the what we love the most about Portugal and the Portuguese. Yeah, we are seeing that
Yeah,
actions a lot.
I think part of that, Nunu, is that people are so resourceful, ingenious, inventive, and helpful with each other's within the community. Sometimes not reporting things. So I think the
Yeah,
scale of this is even greater than is actually known and being reported. because of the very thing that you're talking about there, which again is an extraordinary thing about this country. So for the time being, I think that you will perhaps be stars of the show tonight, the Winsurance team, and being available to help people. And I thank you for being here tonight, the three of you. Let's go to Daniel I'm guessing in the capital, or Lourdes, or maybe you've got a comment on both. Daniel, how are you? How are things for you?
Well, I'm quite all right. The recent storms have not destroyed anything in my house, fortunately, neither in the office. But we do have clients with floodings and infiltration problems, even colleagues, people from my law firm. So it has been some difficult days, unfortunately. And I was moved by these comments over there. And if is there the need of any legal assistance, do drop me an email. We'll try to drop you an end. And this has been a terrible week for
Yeah,
Portugal, and probably something Marta is coming in our direction. So it's let's brace ourselves. Hopefully,
yeah,
it will not be
absolutely.
as bad as the last one.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Anything from a legal law point of view, and of course, we will still have an election on Sunday, won't we, Daniel? I think
Yes,
there's some talk.
the in some municipalities where the storm hit the hardest, they'll probably need to delay the elections 1 week. But
Mm,
this is up to the municipality to decide. It's not on a national level.
yeah,
So probably two or three municipalities like Alcácer do Sal, they've been
yeah,
really hit hard by the recent floodings, and a few others will need to have the election on. Another date, but the rest of the country, unless Marta does come really hard, I think that will keep our election to Sunday.
yeah. So the
I
underlying,
voted already on my end. My vote is there,
yeah,
but the rest of the country still needs to vote. Only around 300,000 people, I think, voted, so the rest of the country still needs to vote.
well, okay. So the underlying political storm continues as well, and we'll know something come Sunday night, I suspect, notwithstanding any delayed voting and how that might affect things. But yeah, if you've got anything for Daniel, any questions for Daniel Dos Reis of Reis and Pelicano tonight, do pop those into the chat as well. Let's go to Gilles. Gilles, are you ready to chat with us this evening? I'll have a note to you. Or perhaps we can come back to you, Gilda, in just a moment. We have Sarah here from the Dream Team as well. Hi, Sarah. There was a rate stability in the UK, which I suspect you'll talk about. But firstly, on a personal level, how are you, and you're part of Portugal?
Yeah, very fortunate. Like a bit like Daniel said, we've not really hit here as massively compared to the rest of the parts of the country. I mean, yes, we have heavy rain. Yes, there's a little bit of flooding. Yes, there's some trees down, but that's I understand it's to be um, understandably so because of the amount of rain that we're getting here.
Yeah,
But it's very similar to the UK, so I think that that's manageable from my perspective. Obviously, it's very sad to hear further up north. We have clients, partners in the areas, and it's really heartbreaking. Really, I know it's
yeah,
a real struggle. Um, Obviously, it's anything we can do to help. I've seen a lot of things like they're doing drives where volunteers can go and help. You can drop things off like um, canned goods, blankets, towels. There's things that we can really do to help. So it's just really hard at the moment, but we're quite fortunate where we are that it's okay.
I'm glad to hear that from your point of view. And with currency, so much going on in the world, isn't there, at the moment? A massive political instability in the UK at the moment, and a rate, not a change. The action taken was no action, I think, on the Bank of England interest rate. Is that right?
And also the ECB as well. They kept the rates on hold. It's
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit
What
of
does that
a
mean? What does that
little
mean
bit of
for
a
people?
well, a little bit of a storm, I would say,
Oh
actually
gosh.
went
Okay.
through the currency market, certainly last week as well. I
Yeah.
mean, for Americans buying euros, it was about 3% movement, which is about $8,000 on a transfer of 250,000 euros. So
Wow.
it's quite volatile at the moment. So as I said, you could say there's storms everywhere.
Yeah.
We've seen a little bit of a pullback from that, which is good, probably about a percent or a percent and a half. So I think the challenges we're looking at things like interest rate announcements, the ECB may cut interest rates later in the year. Certainly, we're looking at the Fed, that they may cut interest rates later in the year. The economic performance of the US was slightly better than expected, but again, we're still watching on that. We've seen a little bit of improvement in the US dollar because the government's been shut down, so we haven't got jobless figures. So that's given a bit of respite for the dollar there. One thing we're looking at, which has helped the dollar, is the financial or the fiscal health of Japan. And there's a snap election happening on Sunday as well. So it's quite volatile times. I think going forward, it's interest rates, political uncertainty, anything that's coming out in the headlines, the market's reacting quite quickly to it. So I know it's very difficult, certainly for people that are here in Portugal. I know that it's very hard to talk about this sort of thing when really the key thing at the moment is the focus on the weather and what's happening in people's homes. But obviously this is still going on as well. And, it's very hard to focus, but we're there to support clients. We're on the end of the phone and, let us help monitor it for you and keep you updated. And maybe it's not a priority at the moment, I appreciate, but it is something to watch out for because we're seeing a lot of volatility at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. So well put, Sarah. It is difficult, isn't it, to know what to say and what not to say at the moment. But if that is your need right now, there's no reason why you shouldn't reach out to Spartan FX for that kind of help. Yeah, and crazy times. Those, the gold and silver, Bitcoin, incredible times in the world of finance at the moment. So thanks for being with us. Any questions for Sarah, pop them in the chat. Gilda, can we connect with you right now? Are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm
Good
there.
evening to you. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. I didn't have problems myself or my family, but all of this is very sad. I think it's something that we never thought we were going to pass through. However, there is something that comforts my heart, is to see that how people are getting together to help each other, and it's amazing. It's amazing, and this is the true Portuguese spirit, and I'm proud. I'm proud to be Portuguese and to see how we have this sense of community and to help the others.
Yeah, rightly so. Yeah, well said. Well said on that. Wow. And here, of course, to answer any questions about visas and what's going on at AIMA, is there an update? I'm guessing, this is casting a huge shadow over all work occurring in Portugal. Is there anything to report from AIMA? And of course, people going to towns and cities around the country, you have to be really careful traveling at the moment. Is there any obvious effect? Anything issued by AIMA as a warning or an update on their workload and how people connect with them?
The only AIMA that is not working at the moment is Leiria.
Of course, yeah.
All the others are opened, and everything. I think that things are getting into a better place.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Well, just generally speaking, in that government department. Okay. Good. Okay. Anything else to report from the world of the visas?
No, not at all.
Okay. I do have some questions that have been sent in previously as well. And thank you for all your comments here as well from our community here on Zoom. Expats Portugal premium members, do join us at expatsportugal.com. Debbie, good evening to you. Your updates from your various parts of Portugal are very welcome tonight. Boa noite to all from Debbie. Thank you, Madalena, for your message in there. Pam, good evening to you. And some gratitude for Gonzalo there. Excellent stuff. Good customer feedback for Gonzalo. Thanks, Gonzalo, for your great work. And on a personal level from me as well, thank you for your support to me as well. Good evening from Linda and Derek in Lagos as well, where I saw pictures of Lagos. You have extra lagoons there. It's quite extraordinary, isn't it, in the floodplain around Lagos. Alex has a question. We'll come back to that. Let's just do a bit of checking in with everybody, make sure everyone's okay, see if there's any comments or requests for help directly before we get into specific questions here of our Dream Team panel, Town Hall this evening. We have some towels, duvets, and blow-up bed can drop off in the Caldas area if I can get out tomorrow. If anyone knows where. MVC, if you search MVC, that's the volunteer organisation in Caldas. But you reach out to me separately. I can definitely connect you with people in Caldas there, Andrew and Round. That's a really kind offer. Diana, is there an ideal non-profit organisation similar to Red Cross with a website that can accept cash donations? I'll come back to our panel on that. V says our small community in Pedro de Ouro has been exceptional, and in the face of disaster, we've never been more certain that we want to live in Portugal, despite what's happened. That's amazing. Thank you for that. Jose Cruz, this is what has most impressed us. Community coming together to help the most affected. I went to get my hair cut today, and there was a pile of food and water in the corner, and my barber explained that he's taking it to Leria. I offered that we have 2 mattresses we usually say for visitors, happy to donate them, but no, have no way to transport them. He immediately said he'd come by our house tomorrow and pick them up. Everyone chipping in to help as they can. Lovely to see. I question the integrity of any statistics you go on to say from the US, and will be even more skeptical once the new Fed chair assumes his role. There's a bit suspicious of what's going on in the States. As we've come to expect from you, Jose Cruz there. Thank you for being with us. So a first question then, down to business as it were. Alex, do we need to bring international driver's licenses with us to Portugal? Also, what kind of driving record do we need to obtain from the DMV? That strikes a cast of shadow, doesn't it, as well? DMV in the US. Debbie's helping out there already. No, bring your USA license. You can exchange it by applying on the IMT website. Would you agree with that as well, from your knowledge of working with people, Nuno or Gonzalo or Madalena from Winsurance, about international driving licenses? Sometimes we've said that might be a useful backup. Is that still the case, do you think? Nuno, I'll take your answer first, if I may.
I think that Gilda provide the service of the exchanges license.
Okay, let's pass that ball. Let's pass that. Yeah.
But
Okay,
but there are an agreement between Portugal and the United States. I'm hearing myself with feedback.
Yeah, there's a bit of an echo there, but carry on. Let's see what we can do about that.
Well, I'm Gemini. I don't know if this is the reason.
No, we could all hear it. It wasn't just in your head, Gemini.
Okay. So I know that there is an agreement between the two countries that you can, if you have so up to 60 or 65 years old, I'm going to check the information. You can use your driver's license in Portugal, but only in Portugal. Is not valid to Spain, for example. So yes, you should change your driver's license once here. Okay.
Yeah, and make road trip buddies in the Expats Portugal community. I think share the load possibly. Jerry, were you wanting to add something to that? Did you want me to
only to say that for an American citizen, 180 days you can drive on your US license before you need to have registered for an exchange and a Portuguese license. So it's not something to worry about before you get here. It's something to worry about once you're here and settled.
There you go. And the worry can be dealt with. Thanks, Jerry. And Nuno, the worry can be dealt with by Gilda. Carla, I think, specifically specializes in this, right, Gilda?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't. I agree with Nuno, but with Jerry, more or less, because I think that if you want to be cautious on this, you have to go and bring your driver's license from the state that you are from. So that you can then get your Portuguese driver's license, but only if you are over 60 years old. Before, there's no need of that, okay?
Yeah.
And also the international driver's license is useful if you want to get a car and go around other countries in Europe.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, the three of you, on that. I think we pretty much nailed that, Alex, on that particular driving license issue. And it does vary, doesn't it, according to where you're coming from and what the arrangements are, the reciprocal arrangements with Portugal. So worth checking wherever you are coming from, or based on where you're coming from. Municipal City Hall in Torres Vedras, as well as all the schools, were closed today, and I suspect they will be tomorrow. So that's a little bit of community information there. Robert, I don't know if you've seen this question, Sarah, needing help. Spartan FX account has been open, but hitting some roadblocks sending funds. This is presumably to do with the know your customer and the sort of the hiccups at the beginning of the process.
Yes, I'm just about to respond. I'll put my email address in the chat. And if you could send me your full name and where you're sending the funds from, and I'll look into it, and we'll get back to you tomorrow.
Very good. There you
straight
go,
away.
Robert. Thank you, Sarah. And Debbie. Oh, yeah, the saga of Debbie's driving license, of course. I'm here nearly 2 years and still on a Florida license, waiting since August for the exchange. Jerry, I finally found where to complain, and they replied that they would get right on it. How about that?
Personally, Debbie, I would not have put that on a website, on a webinar that's going out over the internet, YouTube, but there you go.
Okay, yes. Well, what else can she do, to be fair? What else
Well, just not, I wouldn't announce it like that, Debbie.
Or it may not be Debbie, or Florida.
Oh, yeah, it may not be.
Coimbra,
Yeah,
or anything
yeah.
to do with what we've just said. Okay.
Absolutely,
let's move on.
yeah.
Let's move
Yeah.
on. Okay, Sarah, helping there with Robert. I hope that helps you, Sarah. Yes, it looks like it. Great, thank you. Debbie's not the name on my license. Excellent.
Debbie, just keep giving out more information. It'll be so useful.
Or whatever your name is. Right. I'm popping over to it's nice to have a bit of light relief, isn't it? My goodness. Popping over to YouTube. We've got somebody, Moz, I'm going to go with on YouTube there. Bracais and Figueira dos Vinhos still has no water. Yeah, Figueira dos Vinhos, it was particularly badly hit in central Portugal. Still no water since last Wednesday, Thursday. And this is a week now. And electricity, any advice? So many people affected. And I know it's important to report to e-Reddish any outages or lack of electricity since that date. So you do report that to e-Reddish, the network company, the grid company here in Portugal. And you presumably you might have done that anyway. The devastation does not seem to be on national TV. Well, it is now for sure, but I don't think it's on global TV in a way that it might warrant. I'm currently in the UK and no real mention. I would suggest starting a thread on the Expats Portugal forum and getting some help from people in the area who I'm sure will be happy to give you any feedback if they live nearby and might even be able to help you over on this side. JMC, bon dia to you as well. I went past Solar Life, Alvazra and up to Coimbra, and it was both devastation and impressive as well in terms of how much had been cleared. A lot of riverside properties are in real peril as the rains continue. That's I guess a focus of our attention now nationally here. JMC making light of the situation in YouTube. Thank you for that. Bracais is not too far from Alvazra. I hear the army is out helping and generators are being supplied. Unfortunately, that has not got to Bracais as yet. Yes, the army, the military have been employed in this situation to help clear up as well. I saw an amazing picture of a soldier with a sheep. He was carrying a sheep on his shoulders to safety. Some amazing pictures that are coming out from this situation at the moment. Let's go back to our chat here in the Zoom here over in the Expats Portugal community here. Didn't get an answer about what I need, the kind of driving record I need to request from the DMV. Okay. Also, and also another question for Nuno. So the driving record, Gilda, do you want to pick up on that? What sort of driving records needed from whatever country of origin?
I'm sorry, I don't really know. It's
okay.
That deals
Nuno,
with. But if you
maybe
want
Jerry.
to send me an email,
There's no driving record. If you have a valid driving license in the USA, that's the record. That's what you need to bring.
Okay, yeah. So it's not like insurance where you're looking for a no claims bonus with a driving history. It's just to prove that you've got the license.
Yeah, for insurance, I'm sure Nuno will add on this. For insurance, you should try and get some sort of statement. Is that right, Nuno? That you've been driving accident-free for 10 years or whatever it is, yeah?
Yes, a record, so a declaration document from your insurer that you have your insurance policy with no claims during the last 5, 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
what you have. Okay,
All right.
because I know that this in the United States, when you change from state, the driver's license also change, and the date that will appear in the driver's license is not the first one, because here in Portugal we keep the first day, the day that we take our driver's license is always on it. Okay, so we don't need a record from this. But because the driver's license system does not work the same in USA, so the record from the insurer is a proof that you have not only so that you had no claims to the insurer, as well as that you have at least X years with driver's license, valid driver's license. Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Nuno, and thank you for posting up the information. I don't know how you managed to find that so quickly. You are
We have these.
you are AI, aren't you? AI should be worried because we've got Nuno working for the humans. Yes, thanks for posting that up in the chat there. And Geraldine, Carla from Coimbra or Lisboa or somewhere else would like to add to the conversation as well. Please go ahead.
Deep voice.
Hi.
Deep voice.
Yes.
Hi. I am the unwilling expert on exchanging driver's licenses.
Yeah.
Yes, actually do need you do need a record. And I gave Alex the link twice. I don't know, Alex, why you're not seeing it. I don't know, but I gave you the link twice. But I did have to. So first, I had to get the driver's record. Mine was in Florida, and then I had to have it apostilled. And so you actually do need that. And when you go to apply online, it will ask you for those things. And so you don't go to IMT, you actually start online. I went in person because their website was down, and they said, well, you have to apply on the website. And I said, but it's down. And they said, we know. When it's up, apply online. So anyway, as you apply online, it is going to ask for a whole lot of documents. It's right there. Just follow it. The driving record is part of it. They've never asked for my insurance. And in fact, I have an automobile, and I'm insured with the automobile, and they didn't ask for my USA insurance either. But you do need to get your driver's record. Just look at the link that I put on there for you.
What record are you talking about, George?
My record of driving in Florida. So it went back to, I think I moved to Florida in 81. And so it had like my whole driving record. And so I had to have the DMV in Florida send it to wherever it got apostilled. And then I had a friend in Florida mail it to me here.
Okay.
So at least in well, whether you heard about it or not, it is something you got to do.
Yes,
And,
it is required. That's why I said that you need to think in advance before you come to Portugal so that you can bring these documents with you.
Right.
Okay.
And when I came here, I was convinced, oh, I'm not going to drive. I'm living in a city. Well, after a year, I was like, oh, I'm driving. So I actually, I waited till way after the 160 or 180 days, and I am over 60. But anyway, so Alex, just look at the link. If you don't see the link, I'll put it up another time, but I gave it to you twice.
Yeah, thanks, Debbie. Yes, whoever you are and however you want to identify yourself, thank you for that in the chat there, especially for Alex. Much. Yes,
I think I think George in Coimbra, you don't need the insurance because you don't have to have a car to get a driving license. So the two are not connected. You need a driving license to get a car, but you don't need insurance to get a driving license. Right? Sorry, yeah. Let's say that again. You need insurance to get a car, but you don't need insurance to get a driver's license.
It's interesting, this, isn't it? We've got, thanks, Jerry. We've got Andrew here. I think it's Andrew. I agree with Gerald in Porto. To change a UK license, you need an original driving record from the DVLA. I didn't have to provide that.
I didn't have to do that.
Which is interesting. Maybe that's a change then, and that's why we don't know about that, Jerry, as well. And Andrea, thank you for this. In Canada, it's called a driver's abstract, which just sounds like a poem by Bob Dylan, doesn't it? I mean, and it's very nice and Canadian, I think. So the driver's abstract for Canada and the DMV record. As Gilda says, if you want to save yourself a lot of hassle, I'm guessing, Gilda, it would be better to get your DMV record while you're in the States rather than trying to get it remotely from Portugal. So worth thinking about. New news to us this evening there. Jerry, did you want to add something?
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, if you can get an international driver's permit, or even in America, I know it's possible to have two driver's licenses. And that could be quite useful because when you do exchange, it can take several months for you to get an actual license back. You'll go into a kind of a limbo where you'll have a piece of paper authorizing you to drive in Portugal, which is fine. But when you go outside of Portugal, that piece of paper probably won't let you rent a car or something like that. So it'd be good to have either an international driver's permit, which you can also get in Portugal, by the way, or in some cases, I think with Americans, it's possible to get two driver's licenses.
That's what I remember now. This is going back a bit, isn't it? These hacks that we talked about many years ago, I think. And I think you were describing a situation where if you wanted to hire a car, you went on holiday in the United States and you went there and you didn't have a license. And it was good to have maybe work with a company that had your details on record. That was another way of dealing with that situation, wasn't it? As well as having an international driver's license.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a chance because if they ask for your license, which they probably should,
I thought that would be okay. It doesn't usually go down very well, does it, in these official situations? Very good. Thanks, all of you.
And most important, we haven't discussed the main thing here, which is the sanity check. Okay, we mustn't forget that.
Well, notably because I managed to get through it. Yes. For one thing, and there is a big change point, I suppose. I don't know. There's probably a better way of expressing it, but if you're over 60, this is what's making a difference as well, and that's Andrew's qualification on that for getting a record. It was because he was over 60. I can't believe that, but that's that may have something to do with it. Hoax, there is no sanity check. Well, it is called a psychological check, to be fair, isn't it? We've called it the sanity check here.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No,
really?
No.
I've seen it as a psychological test.
No, they don't. And you can see it right on the website. The psychological test is for, the sanity check is if you're going to be like an Uber or Bolt driver or a lorry driver or a bus driver or whatever. If you're driving your own car, you don't need it.
Okay.
But you do have to, seriously, you have to have a medical, right?
Yes. And I got mine at ACP.
And as part of the medical, they're ticking you off for sanity as well.
Well, it was an eye check. And what was really funny is my eye check, he said, "Can you see the thing on the wall?" I said, "Yes." And he
Excellent. Right. And as I understand it, my medical that I passed and whatever was going on behind the scenes, I don't know exactly, but getting there to see the doctor was enough to pass that test. As I recall.
Walking in unaided is enough, I think.
Without collapsing or needing help from anybody was enough to get us the medical check.
I think my applying to exchange my license means that I failed the sanity check because nobody's saying anything.
Yes, George in Porto. It could be that. George. Right, fantastic. Alex, we must have done that question justice by now. I'm hoping. Right, where did we get to? ACP can help as well. Thank you for that. The AAA in the US will issue an international license. That's good to know as well. That's like the AA or the ACP here, of course. Who offers an international driver's license here? I should say. I think that's. Oh yeah, we don't know that. Where did you get that from, Jerry?
ACP.
ACP. Okay.
Contact us and we can sort you out with all.
Okay. However, Jose's ACP office said it was a bit of a depends thing there, perhaps, and they didn't know about it. Is it? I think Jerry can help you with that. Fair. The online health check consultation is tough. How are you? Fine. Okay, you fun. All right. Okay, I think we've had enough fun with that, everybody. This is for you, Gilda. Is there a cut-off date for renewal procedures? How much? I wonder how that would work. And this is from one of our members. We'll call them MM. Who sent this question to be asked on their behalf, which you can do as a member of Expats Portugal. How much time to wait to receive decision after biometric collection? What recourses are available? I think that's a reference to the law, isn't it? So the renewal cutoff date. Do you want to tell us about that, Gilda?
So once you have your renewal, you have submitted your renewal process, and if by, I think it's 90 working days, you don't have a reply, you can go for a tacit approval. And many people are doing that right now because they are taking so long that we've been filling lots of files for tacit approval.
Okay, and what does that mean exactly?
It means that they have a deadline to analyze the case. And the law says if they don't analyze the case, it's supposedly it is accepted.
So it's like approval light,
Yes.
or first stage approval, which goes some way to helping and giving some sort of reassurance for people. I hope that helps, MM. Is there anything else you want to say on that, or is that what you would recommend, going for tacit approval, getting help to do that?
Yes, it's what people have been doing because they did these AIMA missions, okay, and there were many people working, but then the AIMA missions they said, okay, now it's finished, and there are less people analyzing the process, so it's taking too long. And we can see that because they don't have time to analyze the process, sometimes they are just sending a paper asking for more papers just to gain time.
Yes.
And it's papers that or either you don't need or you already delivered. But it's just for them to gain more time.
That's awful, isn't it?
It is. And I have clients that have been through that twice. You know,
Oh dear.
they have delivered the documents and then they have to say we delivered, but here they are again. And now they were waiting for the residency permit. And just before the 90 days, they sent another paper saying, oh, now we need this paper. So, yeah.
Oh dear. Well, a tacit approval, then that's an interesting thing to be looking out for. What is that in Portuguese? What is the Portuguese translation for tacit?
Tacit. Aprovação
Very good.
tácita.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Every day's a school day. Yeah, so that's a nice, easy one for your vocabulary there. Fantastic. Okay,
Daniel, can you explain it? Are you able to explain it better, or you think I explained better?
It was perfect. Aprovação tácita, tacit approval. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Daniel. Something I missed earlier on, question for last week's citizenship seminar while we have you on the screen, Daniel. Since the citizenship office is different from AIMA, when the time comes, should you renew with AIMA at the same time you request citizenship?
Definitely, for sure. Depending on the type of nationality, it's taking between 3 years and a half to obtain the Portuguese nationality. And within that time, that the process is being decided, the person is still a foreigner in Portugal. So they should renew the residency permit, otherwise they will be illegal here, although they may have a nationality process ongoing. So yes, definitely renew the residency permit, or otherwise you're not legal in Portugal.
Okay, thank you for that, Daniel. That's for you, Tara. Pam, thank you for this bit of feedback. No big issues as a result of the storms in Arcos de Valdevez. We would like to contribute in any way we can. I do have a question with regards to new builds and an inability to move in. We're grateful to be able to to hop from Airbnb to Airbnb seeking advice. Is that a question for us tonight, Pam, or a more general thing? If it is a question for us, do let us know, and we'll make sure we share that. Back to you, Gilda, if I may. I've got a question from someone about people who were pre-Brexit and whether they're the amount of time they have to be in the country is similar to other people who are on the D7, for example. So, being out of the country as somebody who qualified for residency pre-Brexit, is it the same conditions for being out of the country that affect your residency going forward?
Well, that is a very good question. However, all the people that had a crew before, Now they have a residency permit.
Yes.
And having the residency permit, they cannot get any other rules rather than the rules that we have. 6 months in a row, 8 months interpolated.
I thought so. Yep. Okay. So once you've got your residency card, if you did that, which you should have done, it will be the same rules that apply to other people in that situation. Very good.
Because if I'm not sure, because I don't remember. It has been like 5 years ago, so I don't remember what were the conditions when you had when you were entitled to the crew. But at least you had to be more than 6 months and 1 year, because you become tax resident when you have the crew.
Okay.
But once you change from the crew to the residency permit, then you are under the same conditions as the others. And also because now you are not from the European Union, so you have to respect the same time to be out of the country to keep the residency permit.
Thank you for that answer. There you go for the person who wanted to know about that. Jerry, did you want to ask something about that or add something to that?
Yes, I just wanted to jump in there because there's quite a bit of information coming out about people who need to renew, who came here pre-Brexit. And there are some issues. And in fact, Gilda and I were discussing it today. And almost every time we look at the websites on the AIMA and so on, they seem to have changed the rules yet again. But we're planning with Gilda's company, we're planning to do a webinar specifically on this subject in the near future. We haven't got a date confirmed yet, but it'll be on our calendar very, very shortly.
Yes, because something was added to the website, wasn't it, for Brexit people?
Yes, I'm going to explain. Explain what was the problem. Some British people had the crew, okay? So they became residents in 2020, okay? And then they had to change the crew in 2022 for the residency permit. So their residency permit is still valid if they get the 3 years. And now AIMA was denying to give them a permanent residency. Why? Because they were not counting the time when they had the crew. Okay, but there were many British that got associated, and they did a lot of pressure to the government, and now they have this new website where you can, if you are in this condition, you can apply for permanent residency.
Or summon the Treaty of Windsor. No, maybe not. But that, I mean, maybe we should invite the ambassador that evening when we've got a date for that webinar. Joe, see what happens with that. But yes, we do have a long-standing relationship which shouldn't be forgotten about. I think. Okay.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, very good.
Taking care of your Portuguese citizenship.
Okay, that's another webinar. Okay.
I'm sure your Portuguese is good enough.
Are you talking to me specifically, Gilda?
No.
Oh, okay. To all the pre-Brexit people. Okay, interesting. Yeah, and some were hoping that there would be a re-merger. I think with everything that's going on at the moment, that's on the back burner for some time yet. But let's not open that wound. Now's not the time to be talking about that. We have questions here. Alex, I think you asked this before about. Maybe the emphasis is on absolutely here. Is it absolutely necessary to buy medical insurance for 1 year before the first AIMA appointment? Who wants that, Gilda or Nunu possibly?
Yes, as long as you have the NIF, yes, it's possible. It is possible.
I think the question is it absolutely necessary to buy medical
no,
insurance for 1 year?
No.
For 1 year? Right.
No, at all. No, you need, as far as I know, and I think that there is nothing written as there is with the travel incoming insurance, that if we access to the Portugal authorities website, we can see that is mandatory. To the health insurance, I think that is not yet formally mandatory, but AIMA staff are requesting more often
Yeah.
the health insurance. But Gilda, she's the one who knows about this very
And
well.
you don't have to buy a year up front, do you? You don't have to buy the whole year's
No,
policy if that's the
no,
case.
no. You need to have it to show to the AIMA appointment.
And
What it may be interest is that because there are waiting periods, you can consider to start the insurance policy some months in advance, but not
yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, and the distinction is important there, Alex, between the health insurance and the travel insurance, as in
Yes.
travel health insurance and the health insurance. That it sounds like one of those job descriptions, doesn't it? It's becoming desirable but not essential by law. Gilda, do you want to make a comment on
Yes,
that?
I want to add something. If you are applying for the visa, some consulates ask 6 months travel insurance. Other consulates ask 1 year travel insurance.
Right.
So to be safe, I would have 1 year travel insurance. And then once you are in Portugal with your visa, to go to AIMA, you need to have health insurance. But then you more or less, you can buy 1 year health insurance because most likely, even we Portuguese, we have private health insurance. We have both, the public and the private. So yes, but it's going to be a different type from the one that you used in the consulate for you to come here.
All right. I hope we've sorted that for you now, Alex. Thanks, Sarah, for taking care of Robert and other community members helping there. I'm not sure that's for public sharing, but it's good to see that that's going on behind the scenes. And Alex, I think you could perhaps let us know if that's satisfactory to you and your question's been answered there. Pam, that was a question you say, but I'm not entirely sure what it was. You were talking about, if I can find it here, a question regarding new builds and the inability to move in, but grateful to be able to hop from Airbnb to Airbnb. I think probably maybe for you, Daniel, it's about the habitation license, isn't it? If you've got a new build, when can you move in legally?
All right, so it's a really interesting question. I'll explain how the system was in Portugal and how it is today. So before 2023, if a builder just wrapped up a property, he has finished a property, he would need to communicate this to the municipality. The municipality would need to do a property inspection. They would go there, see if the property was built up to code, and they would see the blueprints out of the property. And then they would get back to the municipality and issue the utilization license, or in Portuguese, licença de utilização. And this was somewhat of a bureaucratic process. It took between 4 or 5 months after the property was fully terminated. But the law was changed, and this is not a reality anymore. What happens is, once the property is finished, the project manager, usually the architect, will send what's called a term of responsibility to the municipality, along with what's called the specialty projects. So engineering projects like water, electricity, HVAC, things like that. And after, if my memory serves me right, 15 days, the municipality needs to issue a document stating that all documents were received. And after that confirmation from the municipality, the property can be transactioned. So it can be bought by the potential person interested, and there's no need to wait for the utilization license because it doesn't exist anymore, actually. The municipality will not issue the utilization license from 2023 onwards. So this is a really brief explanation, but this is how the system works nowadays.
Okay, Pam, thank you, Daniel. That's great. And I wonder if that helps there, Pam.
Yeah, could I ask just a very quick question?
You go ahead. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the answer will be quick,
Sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it's been over 2 months since the building was finished. It's 12 apartments and in Across de Valdebes. And they still haven't gotten around to doing the final thing that they need to do.
But this is
And
the people doing the construction, correct?
no, it's the electrical race, or it's the electrical people who have to. The electrical is the only thing that's not the only thing is that's not uh, done, but it's done, but they haven't plugged it in.
You're talking about the electrical certificate, correct?
Yes, yes.
Right.
And
That's one
it's,
of the
yeah,
documents that needs to be sent. Yes.
yes, yeah. Okay, and it's taking months, and so nobody in the building who owns a place can actually live in there.
Wow.
And so we are homeless in
Yeah,
a sense, and not to put to compare to people who have lost their homes. So and also there's a tacit another tacit aspect in that if they don't do it in a certain amount of time, then it's tacitly approved. But I don't know if you know anything about that, and I won't take up any more time. But if you do know anything about it, please let me know.
I think Daniel can deal with that, Pam.
I
Thank
don't
you.
think that last aspect, I'm too familiar with it, but drop me an email and I'll try to assist if possible.
Okay.
All
And,
right.
and good
Thank
luck,
you.
Pam. That must be
Thank
you.
a very challenging situation to be in.
It
So
is.
we'll sort to you and hope that resolves soon as well. Thanks for being here tonight, Pam, and thanks for asking that question. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
that's helpful
Thank
to other people as well. So thanks for being here. Right. I think we're coming into our last 5 minutes here now. You'll need to remind me if there's like a really important question that I've missed, and that's quite possible tonight because there's been lots of comments. Do let me know. We go in usually towards the end of our. I know we've got some special news from Gilda, haven't we? I'm not overlooking that, Gilda. And I would like to ask our panel, going back to Diana's question about how to help. Is there a Red Cross? You know, we've got Leria SOS, we've got Tempestad SOS, various websites that are popping up, a lot of local community groups who are collecting, and it might be useful for people to get a sense from you, our panel, how to best help in different ways, because it's no clear or obvious picture has occurred yet. So it will be useful to get your individual help on that if we may. And Madalena Gonzalo, please join in if you wish to on that as well. Can I start with you, Daniel? I'm seeing you first on my screen. What would you say for people who just feel really, as a lot of people think do at the moment, feel helpless in the face of what's going on? How can they help? There is financial help and maybe how they can apply themselves, you know, sort of hands-on. What would you advise?
There's a few sites that are trustworthy and that will indeed be that you can deposit money and that it will be channeled for correct people. But my advice would be fire stations. So the bombeiros, they know the populations, they know the necessities, and they usually have warehouses or places where items can be dropped and can be kept, and they know how to distribute, and usually people will recur to them as well. So if you are in doubt to whom should you donate and what should you do, talk with the local bombeiros, with the fire people, because I think that's the best option.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for being here tonight. Much appreciated. Diana was saying, especially from the US, I can send a couple of mattresses worth of cash. And maybe you can pick your locality where there's a Bombeiros and make a connection from the US and send a cash donation to the Bombeiros, and they'll take care of it in your favored part of Portugal. Diana, as one suggestion. Pam is asking, are there donation sites for clothes, etc.? At a lot of supermarkets and on where you'll see dumpsters, there's the Rupa. They are collection points for clothes and children's toys. That's a really good place to drop clothes off. Wrap them up in a bag for life or a plastic bag and chuck them in there. Obviously, there's a lot of rain around at the moment, so make sure they're packaged up and dry, and you can drop them off. Debbie adding maybe your camera or Junta de Freguesia can help with info. That's useful as well if you're local. No, I think you want to say something on this.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
What's your advice?
but I can add that, and this could be not obvious for you, but even though that we Portugal, we are, I think that in English we said a like country, so we are not attached to any religion. Yes, the church, they have a role in the society, and there are communities and group of people that they organize themselves around the local church, and they collect all that stuff to then they send to the locations that need the most.
Thank you,
So
Luna.
it's other option.
That's another great option, which I hadn't thought of. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for being here tonight. Madalena, do you want to add anything, Gonzalo, equally? Madalena first.
Hi. So yeah, my father is a fireman, so I think Daniel's raise it's a great advice. I
Yeah.
subscribe that totally. I can advise you to pay attention to communities on Instagram because they are getting are very groups getting around and create GoFundMes. For example, I'm running a GoFundMe with some people from Alcácer do Sal because
Yeah,
it's
right.
near my hometown and
Yes.
it's really, really dived in, it's submersed. So
Yeah.
yeah, we have some links running and probably GoFundMe links. So pay attention on that kind of links. And I think the best way is text while staying safe, okay, but connect and ask people if they need help. Don't be afraid to connect and participate, okay?
Yeah,
That's my
thank
great
you for
advice.
that. And I know people are in the States, for example, have a favorite place in Portugal, and they're connecting with that town and finding a way to give to their favorite town in Portugal, which is no bad thing and a lovely gesture. So thanks to everybody who's doing that. Madalena, thank you so much. Gonzalo, did you want to add anything to this?
No, I just want to wish everyone luck, and there is always light in the end of the tunnel, and good things will come. Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm actually I think gonna drive up north this weekend to try and help out wherever I can. Just drive as much as I can, and wherever I stop the car, I'll see
yeah,
how can I help. I did it during the fires, and I think I can do it during the floods as well.
nice one. Thank you, Gonzalo. And
Yeah.
and I think if you rock up anywhere, in a local community and it's safe to do so, and you've got your broom, go get a Mercadona broom, some gloves, and wear some decent shoes or boots, and I'm sure you'll be found something to do in your local community in the cleanup. There's so much that needs doing. Thank you, Winsurance, Team Winsurance. You've been fantastic tonight. Sarah, did you have anything to add to this? Oh, the rain's just started on my rooftop here. I can hear it. Sarah, did you want to have
same as
anything?
everyone else. I've donated some money. I'm looking out. Obviously, there's some WhatsApp groups. People have put some information in those for different communities around, as you said, like gathering different things and where the drop-off points are. And I'm waiting for friends to let me know where I can come and help as a volunteer.
Yeah.
But I think again, obviously, it's not to put people off moving because we get similar sort of weather in the UK. But what's really lovely is what Gilda said. When I look at these WhatsApp groups, the support people are giving each other. The neighbors, people are going out their way, checking on people, helping people coming together, and even just people checking in on expats. And through this community that we've met through the meetups and things like that, I think it's just been, I think it looks certainly wonderful. As I said, I've not needed that support, but I can see that people that have needed it, they're getting it through the expat community and the Portuguese. Everyone's coming together. It's lovely to see.
Great observation, and thank you for being here tonight. If you need some help with changing your dollars or sterling into euros, go connect with Sarah to do that. Thanks for being here tonight, Sarah. Gilda, finally, your news, your EI news before you share your tips on this subject.
This subject is serious and it's heavy, and I'm not going to bring the news right now. We'll leave it for another time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, because this is more important.
Okay, well, that's very sweet of you.
And I'm quite close of the mayor from Leiria. So I only talked with his team 2 days after things happened when they were able to communicate. But and then I know because they are with so many things to do, but I will ask them what can we do for them, and maybe I'll let you know.
Excellent. Okay. Excuse me, Gilda. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, all of you, for being here tonight, and our community included on this really difficult time and especially poignant night tonight. This is where we like the transition from Kristen to Leonardo is being felt, and the water's literally rising at the moment in some places. So we're keeping everything crossed to get through the night and assess what's going on first thing tomorrow, and a few more days of rain are forecast, and then into Marta for up to a week or so, I think. So I don't know what else to say except, love, prayers, best wishes, and boa sorte to everyone here in Portugal. It's really difficult time. And perhaps, I'll stick around. I won't just do a sudden ending on the call here. We'll stop our stream to YouTube for sure. Let me stop that. And then I'll hang around if anybody wants to talk kind of off camera or just more personally. I'll stick around for a little while. Perhaps Jerry will as well. And we thank everybody. So Dream Team, thank you very much for being here tonight. And we'll see you soon. Reach out to the professionals if you want to find them. They're in the Expats Portugal Business Directory. And go be safe and well, everybody. Fica bem. And tonight, fica em casa. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. Boa noite.
Jerry, if I get some kind of list of what they need, I will get it to you, and then you will spread the word. Okay.
Okay. I'm also I can't see how to
Can I